All right, good morning from Diamond L Barbecue. Today we're going to be doing a smoke on the Old Country gravity fed smoker. There's a lot of questions on how to set this up, so I thought I'd show you how I do it, and it really puts the results right there with an offset smoker, as long as you use the correct thing. So I use B&B Oak lump charcoal or Jealous Devil lump charcoal. I do put two splits, so what I do is I take a 12-inch oak split, and then I use the kindling cracker and split it down the middle if I can, and I'll show you how I put those in the firebox, in the chute, and then down below the ash, where the ash falls into the ash pan, I use a pretty good sized chunk of oak wood down there, and when it burns up I'll replace it. But this has given me the best smoke out of any setup I can do, so I figured this is the best way to run this smoker. I also put on the ball valve, I'll run a fireboard fan with the fireboard setup, or I have a big green egg, so I'll also use the egg. Genius will fit in the ball valve as well. So that's just kind of how I run it, but I'll show you how I put these splits in the chute, and then I fill the chute with the lump charcoal. So I will show you kind of how I position them. So basically you take the split, and I kind of stick one in each corner. So there's one, and then the second. So that's kind of what I do in the chute. And then I'll take the charcoal, the lump charcoal, and fill all the way up. And depending on the length of your cook, you kind of know once you use this cooker, like if you're doing a 12-hour brisket cook, I'll fill that chute all the way. Today I'm smoking chicken, so it's only gonna be, 3 or 4 hour cook max. So I won't fill the chute all the way, just so I don't burn unnecessary charcoal. But this is how I set it up. It gives me the best results. Like I said, about 99% of the product that the offset puts off. But stay tuned, I'll smoke the chicken later and show you how that goes. Okay, I wanted to show how I start the gravity fed. So here is the ash pan. So I've got a pan down in here. To catch the ashes, I put the wood chunks in the pan, and I try to get pretty big wood chunks and replace those, or I'll stick 2 of them in there really to get optimum smoke flavor. And then here you've got the grate that the charcoal sits on top of. So basically what I do is I use the torch right here and use the torch to heat up the charcoal right on top of that grate until it catches on fire. And then basically I'll shut the door down, and then hook up the fan to the ball valve. And that's pretty much how I run it, but that's how I start it with the torch. And that's the setup that I run for the gravity fed. And like I said, it produces results just like an offset. People also ask if there's any bridging or any gaps using lump charcoal instead of briquettes. And I've used this thing since they came out, and I've never once had an issue. I think the lump burns cleaner. It does not build up ash like briquettes do. You don't have to hit that bottom grate to knock ash loose like you do when you use briquettes. And then the flavor on oak lump, I think, is far superior to briquettes or even natural briquettes. Okay, so the pit is getting going. I just put the chicken on. I lit the fire. I gave it about 5 to 10 minutes to get going. So I'm gonna kind of show you how I shut it down. So to get the cooking going. So I do put this foil here to kind of help the creosote and build up from the lid. And it kind of helps smoke from leaking out. Okay. I keep the stack kind of like that. So maybe about 20%, 20 to 30% closed off, just to get a little bit smokier flavor. I've got the chicken in here. I put the temp probe in it. Look that up.
And then, so I've got, just to keep it easy today, I've got my Egg Genius that also works on the Big Green Egg, locked into, it just screws right into the ball valve. You don't even need an adapter. So we've got that lit up in there. I've got a big wood chunk there. So we're gonna close this up and let the fan do its job. So like I said, the chicken has the probe in it, it's on, and then now you'll hear the fan kick on because I'm hooking in the probe that runs the fan. And then like I said, this thing's just getting going, but it's gonna get some good smoke. And already, just as it comes up to temp, I mean, this thing smells running a wood split, oak lump charcoal, and then once that oak chunk catches in the ash pan, but running it with an oak split or two in the chute with oak lump, I mean, this thing smells exactly like burning a fire with splits in the offset. So you can hear the fan kicked on, doing its thing. The smoke will kind of start coming out of here in a minute, but you can see it's slowly starting to come out. So we are off and running. This is going to be a good, easy cook, but just wanted to kind of showcase how I think is best to run this gravity-fed smoker. All right, so doing a check-in. The chicken's coming along good, almost there. Still smoking perfectly. Thin, blue, clear smoke. Check the chicken. Look at that smoke. Chicken's looking good. And then just so you can see, so obviously there's a split in the chute, but then here, just so you can see the wood chunk in the pan, just putting off beautiful smoke too. So, working perfectly, and the chicken's almost done.